top boy, you get me? Pause, man said top boy. That's raw pause moment, fam. Anyway, though, people, I don't know if I'm too late to the top boy rat race or whatever you call it, because I feel like yesterday everyone was speaking about it, but today I feel like everyone just forgot about top boy already. But who cares though, people? You lot have been asking for my opinions on this season, so I've got 2 videos here scheduled for this channel. The first video is this video. Who pulled the trigger, fam? Because that ending, like, fam, what happened in the end? Like, realistically, yeah, who killed Sully? Now, I understand what they tried to do. They tried to make it as in, like, you know, not everybody's superheroes, you know, like Sully's not a superhero. He can still get killed by anyone. I understand the message, but it's like, fam, low key, fam, like, bro, that's just, how can you leave the last season, yeah, on a cliffhanger? Like, how can you actually do that, people? Like, it's just, it just blows my mind. And also, yeah, my next video that I got coming out about Top Boy on this channel is like a tier list video. I'm basically gonna be ranking each of the Top Boy characters, because I feel like they ruined some of the characters, man. Like, I feel like they ruined Deshane. Deshane was making rookie mistakes, like, say he ain't been in the game for years. I feel like they ruined Jack. And also those certain characters that I just didn't like, man, like Shelly Ann and her dingus hair shop. Like, nobody care about your hair shop, man. And who else? Malcolm X, fam, that gal, fam, that was making bare speeches and that, bro. Like, nobody cares about your speeches, fam. But anyway, though, people, it's your boy Lil Man, you know what I'm saying? Lil Man Gram, Lil Man Top. Lil Man's got a reaction, you know what I'm trying to say, fam. And guys, listen, yeah, Top Boy season 3, who pulled the trigger? Before we get to the video, oh my gosh, I can't even speak properly. Before we get to this video, yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and also, yeah, follow the Twitch, you know what I'm say, fam. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
With the final chapter of Top Boy being released and the ending of the show finishing in a way that took all of us by surprise, it concluded with a massive question out there. Who killed Sully in the closing moments? Well, I thought I'd tell you who I feel did it, along with lining up all of the main suspects and elaborating on what their motive could have been.
Also, sorry, give me a second. Give me a second, people. Also, yeah, why would they introduce us to this Irish geezer if he got killed off straight away? Like, I thought that this season was rushed. You know what? Do you want to be honest, yeah? I actually thought this season was good until I started deep in it. Like, I feel like you lot's opinions got in my head. I was seeing social media say it was dead, and I was thinking, nah, there was no way it was dead. So you know what I did? I watched it again. I watched it again, because I was like, yo, the first time when I watched it, I remember like finding it quite interesting. But then when I actually deeped it, they missed out on so much, man. Like, deep it, yeah. Like, who was that girl, bro? Stefan's friend, Tia. Like, why wasn't Tia in this season? Like, what was the point showing us Tia in the what was the point showing us Tia in the final scene of last season when Jamie got shot if she wasn't in this season? Which means her whole character was just a waste of time. You know what I'm trying to say? Also, like, no Lizzie, no Life. Like, we didn't get to see no Lizzie or Life. No Aaron. Aaron was too busy in Leeds studying. Like, that's not even realistic when you deep it, blood. Like, that's not even realistic. And I deadass thought, yeah, these Irish guys were going to be Deshane's biggest problem, but they killed him off straight away. It was just like, it didn't make sense. And also, yeah, people,
who killed Sully in the closing moments? Well, I thought I'd tell you who I feel did it, along with lining.
They treated him like a bad bee. He actually got treated like a bad bee, fam. Ash Cash who, bro? Like, he actually got treated like a bad bee, I'm sorry.
Up all of the main suspects and elaborating on what their motive could have been. So let's get into it. Here is who killed Sully in Top Boy Season 3. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Jax. There are 2 or 3 individuals that I think are the most likely options for being the suspects in taking out Sully. The first of these is Jax, and I feel like she's the most—
I'm seeing a lot of people on social media say it was Jax. Me personally, yeah. Nah, you know, at this rate, I wouldn't even be surprised, man. But if it was Jack, yeah, they ruined her character, man. I feel like Jack was the person who, she kept it true no matter what, and she was loyal no matter what. Like, that was her whole, like, you know what I'm saying? That was her whole character, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like her whole character was just forced, like, this season. And what I mean by that is, like, they literally forced that whole situation of her robbing the guns and all the food and that. They literally forced that whole situation so it could lead to Sully killing Deshane. That's literally what it was for. You guys do know that, yeah. Like, it was like, nah, Lauren didn't even get a funeral, for flip's sake. She didn't even get Sully didn't even go home. He didn't even rest. Like, this whole season was just a mess, fam. But yeah. Yeah, man, they ruined her character. But at this rate, yeah, if she did kill Sully, I wouldn't even be surprised, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Suspects in taking out Sully. The first of these is Jax, and I feel like she's the most likely culprit out of them all. Things weren't left on the best of terms between both Sully and Jax following her taking the food, and with Sully saying that Jax didn't get a free pass following Deshane robbing her, it meant that she could have been killed by Sully at any moment in the future. I personally don't think that she wanted to leave the chance of being alive the next day up to fate. Plus, something to remember as well is that Sully was responsible for the killing of Kieran, Jax's brother and long-term friend, which was something
even he
that
was
she
annoying,
single-handedly felt responsible for getting him involved, as we saw in this scene in the finale. So I think the motive of revenge, whilst also doing it to protect herself, Bex and the baby, provides enough substance to warrant a motive for Jax to be behind it. The look on her face the final time that we saw her when she told Bex that everything was going to be alright showed that there was something dark going on inside of her head. When looking at the physical appearance of the individual outside of the car, it's difficult to gauge height due to the camera angle and the way that the camera was positioned in a slightly upright fashion. But when moving through the scene slowly, it very much looked like they were wearing the attire that Jax was wearing when she went into the house and took the food from the basement. Whilst it's something that anybody could just throw on, and it's just all black to conceal identity, knowing that only moments earlier in the show she was wearing something similar, it definitely adds weight behind the theory. I know there's going to be
it probably was Jax actually.
some arguments of the suspect having blonde or brown hair, but I don't think...
Yeah, I thought it was a white man, fam. I thought it was Jeffrey, but like he died.
I know there's going to be some arguments of the suspect having blonde or brown hair, but I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at how the sunlight hits the jacket towards the bottom of it, it hits the top of the head in the exact same way, so I just think they've got a hood up and the sun is making it look like a different colour. The Irish. The second most likely suspect...
But this is what I'm saying though, like people are forgetting, yeah, that, bro, Top Boy's been going on for 5 seasons, bro. You get what I'm saying? 3 times on Netflix and 2 times on Summer House, innit? Channel 4. Blood. Do you know how much up Sully has got, fam? Like, bro, you know how much people want to get their get back on Sully? Like, people think, yeah, only this season. Like, I heard some people saying that Stefan should have been the one to kill him. Like, bro, no, fam, that wouldn't have been realistic, fam. If Stefan killed him, yeah, that would have just been a fairy tale. That wouldn't actually be like a real something. Because, bro, you know how much ups this nigga's got, fam? I mean, look, fam, look at that Erin girl, bro. Bro, you're forgetting that Sully born Erin's dad, fam. Like, he's got ups for days, bro. Like, it doesn't have to be people from this season, you feel what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That I think it could be is the Irish. Within this new season of the show, we saw that a new gang was introduced to us, led by Tague, but with operations being run by Johnny in London. The pair were killed by Sully way before the end of season 3. We saw that these individuals were big dogs. They took out the Moroccans with no effort whatsoever, because there was no news spread that there was trouble, so they clearly meant business and were efficient. With the 2 figureheads of the gang being killed by Sully, word could have gotten back to Ireland, and they could have sent somebody out to come and get revenge for the attack and killing that Sully did to them. It's a simple retaliation, and one that would be expected from any gang following an attack, unless the Irish dismantled following what happened, but I find that hard to believe. The only thing that makes me question that it's them is that it went against what we saw them do earlier on in the season with the whole box to Tash thing. So whilst the motive is there and the retaliation being something that one would expect, it does mean that it could well have been them. Cy is the suspect that
I actually thought it was him still, I'm not gonna lie, fam. Oh, by the way, yeah, this guy, yeah, you do know he's like really bait. Like behind Top Boy, yeah, like my man was in some like Rihanna music video back in the day, blood, like a big Rihanna song as well, blood. You know that song? We found love in a hole, that's it. Bro, that nigga was in the music video, you know, like he was really in it, like man was lips in Rihanna and all them thing there. So this geezer must be old, fam.
I head towards after Jax and the Irish. I think it could have been him for a number of
ready to squeeze up on a man?
Cy
ready
was
to get man
always
done?
rocking with Jamie back in the day and was part of his crew, way before Jamie joined forces with Deshane in the beginning of season 4. So there was loyalty to Jamie which was present. Within this season, we saw that Stefan admitted to Cy that he knew that it was Sully that killed Jamie, a suspicion that Cy had had for a while. So the motive for revenge is something that would definitely be there, to honour his brother who was killed. Towards the end of the season, we saw a scene where Sully essentially accused Cy of taking the food.
This scene was so difficult to watch, but great scene though at the same time.
A horrific moment taking place, where Sully essentially rendered Cy into a complete mess. It was so difficult to watch, and I imagine that could have been a moment that just clicked inside of Cy's mind, and it may have added an extra motive there, to just get rid of the person that he detests more than anybody in the world. Whilst Cy hasn't necessarily come across as the toughest of them all before, with Deshane gone, Jack's no longer by Sully's side, Kieran gone, and Sully's new guy, Junior, gone, Sully was kind of on his own now when it came to having protection around him, so fueled with revenge in his mind for Jamie, and also for what Sully did to him when he entered the flat, he might have just thought that it was his time to act. Whilst there's not a ton of evidence that would point to it, I would say that it's definitely a viable option. Stefan.
You ready to squeeze off on
Even
our
though we
man?
had the face-off with Stefan and Sully right at the end of the season finale, we know that there was full motive there for Stefan to take Sully
Nah, it
out.
worked, Stefan.
His entire story arc was focused around him getting ready to do it.
They
However,
could have did so much more with his story. Like, I'm not expecting him to turn into a bad man or nothing like that, innit? But they could have did so much more with his story. Like, I remember, last season, I was looking forward to him and that Tia girl, like, almost start like a little arc. But instead, they wanted to give an arc to Shelly-Ann and Malcolm X. I don't know why, guys. Listen, I don't know why, go on. And deep it, this whole season got ruined by Shelly-Ann and flipping Malcolm X. I'm sorry, Deshane, the only reason why Deshane killed Jeffrey and did the most and was running away with the bags like a madman at the end was because he wanted to pay for Shelly-Ann's 9 shops. Like, you've already got a shop. Why do you need 9 more? But anyway, pause. Listen, that's not even a pause moment. What? I just said pause to say pause. But anyway, Shelly-Ann, it's your fault why Deshane did all that. You get me? I know Deshane's a grown man, but even still, it's your fault. Also, all the riots and that going on in the ends and all that stuff, like, but that's Malcolm X's fault. And not even that. The reason why Kieran is dead is because of Malcolm X. Because if Malcolm X would have just kept her mouth quiet, Kieran would have got deported to Urande, wherever it's called, or Juande. I don't know where it is, but yeah. So man, it's both of your faults, man.
personally,
Like, did you hear her say to Jack, "Don't lose that champion swag of yours"? What? Nigga, get out my house. Who are you, bro? Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther, bro, get out my yard, fam. And why did they paint a picture of her and Jack on the brick wall, bro? Like, oh, bro, this season was low-key cringe, fam. Like, literally. And bro, Shelly-Ann and Deshae have no chemistry. Erin and flipping Stefan had more chemistry, bro, I swear.
I think this is a very unlikely option. The only reason he's made it into this video is because he had a weapon on him. He was in the vicinity of the car, and moments earlier he was holding the weapon up to Sully, so there is a strong chance that it could well have been him, and Stefan could have changed his mind. But with the conversation that we saw moments earlier, personally, I don't think it is. Aaron. Aaron was Jamie's brother as well.
Oh, hell no, Aaron's studying.
There's some theories floating around that
He's not risking going to pen, fam. He would rather write flipping maths equations with his pen. Yeah, but not funny. Okay, cool.
Have been him. Whilst yes, there is a motive there for him to want to get revenge, but let's be honest, Aaron wasn't made for the streets, nor would he be the type of person to do something like that in broad daylight. He wasn't even around to be there for Steph following their brother's death, which did surprise me.
They missed out with that bit as well, man. Even if they just gave Aaron like 2 little scenes at the start if they really didn't want him there. Like, bruv, they could at least give Jamie a funeral. Bro, that's not realistic, bro. How has your brother that looked after you for years just been born? And then you just fuck off to Leeds, bro. And then Stefan's just in some bando with you trying to get man done. What's his name? Cy. He's just in some bando with Cy, bruv. Like, it's not realistic, fam.
He was working up in Leeds instead. He cares more for the books than he does blood. So I don't think it was him, despite there being
Donnie
some
really
theories.
really wanted to make out the hood, fam.
Nah, I'm doing this one for a joke, as there's no chance that it was him. But including Ronell is symbolic of why the ending was so powerful and left unidentified. Ronell never liked Sully, and Sully never liked Ronell, ever since he killed Leon back in the first season of Summer House. This was Ronell's father figure. This could have been something that was burning up inside of him, and now that he was an adult, he could have looked to have finally got revenge for it. That's almost the beauty of this ending. It could well have been Ronell, because there's nothing to say
That's
that
what I'm saying.
not.
No.
Revenge.
I understand what they did with the ending, and it man understands it, and it like it's smart still. Like, yo, Sully's got bagger ups at it, so it could have been anyone, and it also tells a story like, yo, no matter who, like, you know, you're not Superman. You get me? You can get done by anybody. But at the same time, though, it's like you can't just leave the last season like a cliffhanger like that, man.
Isn't planned, and Sully didn't expect to die when he got in the car. So the darkness of the show and the prominence of revenge can hit you out of the blue, just like that, especially if you've crossed a lot of people. Over the years, Sully had made so many enemies that he himself couldn't even keep up with who wanted him dead.
Facts.
The beauty of this ending and the fact that we'll most likely never know who it was that killed him highlights the brutality of the lifestyle that he chose to lead on the streets. And whilst even though he was spared by one person who wanted to kill him, Stefan, it didn't mean that he was safe. There was always somebody else that was out there that had been impacted by a murder that he committed.
Bro,
So he was never going to be
hot take. Shane should have got killed last season and Jamie should have stayed alive. Hot take.
safe. The streets caught up with him, and eventually they took him. There was never going to be an easy way out, and Sully met his end. Personally, I think it's Jax. The motive, the attire, and the fact that she stood to gain the most from Sully being gone, which was freedom and the fact that she didn't need to look over her shoulder anymore. But hey, I guess this is one that I imagine there's going to be divisive debates over. So, there you have it, Top Boy Season 3, Who Killed Sully. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained.
Well, anyway, though, people, listen, yeah. Let me know down in the comments below, yeah, who you think killed Sully. Let me know if you enjoyed this Top Boy season. I should have another Top Boy video coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one. You get me? It's a full tier list video. And yeah, man, people, without further ado, it's been your boy Lil, man. Also, subscribe to the channel. All right, then, your boy Lil, line. You get me, gang, get me. Gee.